G'day. So, I guess this is it's Captain Australia Uncut. So, g'day. I am now settled in at the Chelsea Motor Inn. I've dealt with my scrapes and my bruises and my aching, weary bones, and I'm feeling great. I just thought I'd stream up and see if anybody was feeling like a chat, really. So I may look like, I think I'm Gandalf the Wizard, but this is Captain Australia and shall not pass. I currently have some cup of noodles on the, just sitting there getting ready for eating, and yeah, I have a few sort of musings that I've had trying to figure out this hospitality stuff. So this big walk, all of the rules around it, all of the ideas. Nice to see you comfortable, mate. Says Body John Boyd. G'day, Body John Boyd, and thank you. Cheers. Bloody noodles. Hey, I saw you walking the other day, says Grace. Did ya? G'day, Grace. I was probably down the middle of the A1 or something. Oh, sirens. Coffs Harbour seems to have a bit of a eyesore, a meth problem at the moment. I spoke to the guy in the service station. He said he's been robbed like 3 times in the last month. But yeah, noodles. I couldn't. Everything's shut when I rolled into town except for the service station. So I've got a couple of these and a meat pie that'll sort me out. So I should be taking probably about 5,000 calories a day. But for now, I'm leaning on the surplus, the extra that I have stored. Evening Captain, says Chrissy. And Grace, it was near Wawulga, was it? I really liked that area. Yeah, it was a lovely area. I didn't really get to go down and check out the beaches or anything. I just needed to keep on moving. But I made it to Coffs Harbour, and I was greeted here it is so surreal. Like I'm just a buffhead. I'm just a dude. I had this idea about a quest that would help me to heal and come back from my own fight with cancer, and I acted on it, and it worked, and it's helping me. And I'm finding that in sharing that might be helping other people as well, and that's great. And that quest expanded to then superhero up and help the charity. Oops, my earbud started to fall out there. And but at the end of the day, I'm a normal dude, more or less, you know. But they greeted me like a superstar when I got here, the Chelsea Motor Inn. So there's the guy who runs it. His name's Adam, and he runs it with his son Jordan. And the helper there, it takes me 3 times to remember someone's name. Adam, Jordan, and there's this other guy, lovely bloke. Stanley, I think. I don't know. I'll have to get that one tomorrow. But they're just lovely. But they greeted me like I was a superstar. You know, I walk in and they're like, here he is. He's here. I'm like, oh, g'day. And they were just so effusive and kind when we. I tried to thank them for the room, and they're like, no, it's our honour, you bloody legend. I'm like, what? Well, I'm absolutely chuffed, thank you so much. He's like, look, would you like to stay for 2 days? And I had to think about it, because like, really my mission is it's a big walk, not a big sit on your bum. You know what I mean? But, you know, it's strategically the right choice to let some of these like blisters and chafing heal up a bit, and sort of take a rest so that I can optimize my performance tomorrow. So I said thank you. I received the kindness gratefully, and it was so surreal. Just they kept like shaking my hand 10 times and treating me like a rock star, and I didn't know how to receive it except with gratitude. So you put out good, you get good back. In today's world of division, what you're doing is very important. Yeah, I understand that. Like, demonstrating, I think, our fundamental humanity is valuable. Like, to be able to see kindness in an active, realistic, slightly oddball way, and that my life, a broken life, can be mended, and that maybe, you know, our lives together can be mended. Ava says, hey, are you getting your Qantas points for walking? Well, no, I'm afraid not. Yeah, so all I get for the walking is, well, I get a lot. I get a lot from the walking. I was going to say all I get is blisters, but Barry Murray says, g'day Barry. Says, g'day Captain. Barry, Bazza. Now that man, Barry Murray, if you've seen the Big Walk logo that has the Big Walk, and around the outside it says, give cancer the boot, Barry Murray did that. So he's a professional graphic designer and he builds websites and all the rest, and he did that for me as a favor. So you'll see his name popping up in the stream, and if you're a big old corporate bigwig and you need that kind of work done, you know, he's really good at what he does. Bath and Radox, yeah, I think a day of rest will do me wonders, to be honest. My impression is these guys here, yeah, they're going to want to take me to the pub tomorrow, and I'm delighted by that. But it's so surreal the way that they've just got me all rock starred up, you know. But yeah, for me, the Big Walk had a few native rules, right? Shared your video to hopefully get you some more donations behind you. Oh, thank you. Yeah, anything any of you can do to share the story. It might be helping somebody who just needs to hear some of the themes inside it, or it might be helping the charity generate some support, make some money for a very important, very worthy cause. So just quickly on that, it's 950 Aussie children every year diagnosed with pediatric cancer. 950. 20% of them don't survive treatment. So that's 3 a week who die. And the ones who don't die, they face the same kind of crippling side effects that I did. So cancer isn't just a disease of the body, it's a disease of the mind and a disease of the spirit. If you're hit by a bus, you die or you live. But if you live, you don't spend the remainder of your life forever fretting, will that bus come back for you? You know? Or look at all the problems that I have now, this big bus imprint on the side of my face and all of the, you know, it's not like that. It's cancer, but cancer it's insidious and it's sneaky and it tries to attack you spiritually as well as physically. And of the 20% of the children who die, that's a profound tragedy. But the ones who survive, they then have a lifetime of potentially chronic problems. So the Kids Cancer Project's a wonderful charity. It really is a wonderful, wonderful charity. And that's a big part of it too. So anything that you can do to share, and that, I'm on the hook for any of that too. So if I pass through your town and you want to roll me into some sort of loony idea, I'm in. That's it. I'm in. It doesn't matter. So you might want to organise a day of, you have a go-kart racing venue and it's yours, and you want to organise a day for the charity. Wonderful, I'm in. I'll be there, and we'll go race karting around. Whatever it is, count me in. So, you know, at the end of the day, anything that you can do to share and help that charity is a wonderful thing. I'm sorry, very, very comfortable here. I like to crank the aircon out and then bundle up. It's weird. Katrina says, the last 3 years has been awful. MS, dumped, COVID, but in such a short time you have made a difference in my life. Thank you. Oh, geez. I'm humbled by that. I don't know what to say. I'm truly delighted if our shared experience benefits you or anybody. So if there's anybody out there who needs to hear this sort of stuff about, you know, hope and how to breed it in your life, and pain and how to let go of it, and healing and how to embrace it, wonderful. And the idea that this story, this crazy thing that I'm doing, could benefit somebody, it amplifies my healing so much. And MS is another, it is actually a good example of another insidious disease, because it's progressive, right? And, you know, it can eventually like take away your equilibrium and your hearing and all that sort of stuff. I haven't like directly known people who've had MS, but, you know, I've learned about the disease, and yeah. So grappling with that, you need the same kind of tools that you do when you're grappling with cancer, and you know, the courage to use those tools as well, and the hope to know that those tools can better your life. And, you know, good on you. And I'm so delighted if I can even slightly help you in that respect. Sorry, are you having trouble hearing? Is there a problem with the audio? My husband, we're scrolling past, scrolling. You inspire me every day. I lost my husband and sister to cancer 6 months ago. Thank you for your brave journey. I'm sorry. Yeah, there's a lot of people touched by, we're seeing my belly and potentially my nether region, and I didn't even realise, sorry. You can't hear me. Shiley can't hear me. Is anybody else, can you hear me? Is the audio okay? Let's testing 1 2 79 6 5 3 1 2. Hi champ, sorry phone playing up, can't hear you, but I'm glad you have a nice warm bed. Well, the can't hear might be at my end. Sound is good, Cap, says Joe. Well, thank you, Joe. Cool. Cool. He's Captain Australia, never gonna fail ya. He's real smart, he don't pay retail, yeah. He buys his thongs, he buys his sandals, and you know he can't afford candles, yeah. That's a freestyle rap, and I know it's no good, it is really crap, but I'm trying. I'm gonna run out of rhyme soon, because I am a loony tune, yeah. Wiki. How was that? I don't know what's wrong. I don't know what's wrong with me. Jesus Christ. Probably belong in a hospital somewhere, really. They shouldn't be letting me out walking anywhere. Oh, God. Yeah, look, life, I think, at the end of the day, if you're not actively pursuing your happiness, regardless the obstacles that are in your way, it's a red flag that you need to re-strategize. A rap challenge coming on. Oh, count me in. You think you could rap battle the captain? No, I don't have. I think my thinking gear before chemo was better than it is after chemo. So bringing words together quickly that rhyme is hard. If you want a dude who does it really well, and in comedy, his name's Chris Turner. If you ever YouTube him, he kind of was going to and may still make a funny Captain Australia rap, because I wrote to him because I just like his work. So what he does, he goes around and he collects words from the audience, like it might be science and potatoes and whatever, and he has to weave those words into an impromptu freestyle rap. Your live streams are helping me so much this week after Mum's Meg's passing. Cancer sucks balls. Chrissy, yeah, I'm sorry, mate, again, for your loss. I'm sure, you're a wonderful person, therefore your mum knew what she was doing, so therefore her loss, it's a keen loss, and I'm sorry. And if me trying to process my own pain and grief that I failed to process before helps you, I'm delighted. I'm absolutely delighted. I couldn't be more delighted. Haley, g'day Haley. We'll have to rewatch later. Sound coming in and out might be my something. Yeah, I don't know. Some people say the sound's all good. I hope the sound's all good. I've got these little Mifo earbuds. They're supposed to be pretty whiz-bang. Yeah, but anyway, so the big walk, Kids Cancer Project, talked about all that. Kyle, well done, Captain. What a great milestone you've reached so far. You're doing so well and touching the hearts of a lot of Australians. Cheers, Kyle. Thank you, mate. I've been getting a bit too much of that stuff this afternoon. The rock star treatment, it's sort of, making me all shy. But thank you. That's a very kind comment, buddy. For me, the big walk, anyway, I wanted to consider some of the rules that I made. So they're all self-imposed. Like the sleeping rough, no help, all of that sort of stuff, right? So the no help thing, there's no support card, there's no one watching me. I talk to my family twice a day at least. But any help that I receive is just from the public, people just throwing kindness at me, pulling over, do you need a bottle of water, mate? And some of them have no idea what I'm doing. They just think I'm walking alone down the road and I might be hungry or thirsty. And that's wonderful. You know what I mean? So I soon realized that help from strangers is a beautiful thing and a good thing, and that's okay. So my big walk, it says no help. Okay, so it is no help. I've got no support. I'm doing it all on my own. But I can, people help me out. They give me water. They give me food. And I do believe firmly that you should never discourage kindness. Kindness is what saves us as a species. That might sound ridiculous on the surface, but you have to consider that there's almost anything in our world that can be objectively measured if you have the tools and the insight to look at it and understand it. And emotions and emotional responses and the human mind can conceivably be understood in that way as well. When we act kind, it feeds into our world and it propagates, it creates more kindness. And it's the antidote to all of the dog shit mean stuff that's out there, because that propagates as well. Cruelty, paranoia, fear, isolation, they all spread in the same way. So kindness is what saves us as a species. Being mindfully kind to each other is actually our best possible survival mechanism, I think. Understanding, insight, sharing, all wrapped in a layer of kindness instead of, xenophobia and fear and all that stuff. But yeah, for me, no help, okay, that becomes a bit bendy because you can't discourage kindness. Sleeping rough, I do sleep rough. So it's been 15 days on the road. I think I've had like 5 days of a warm bed on offer, or maybe 6. It all started at Ballina and the wonderful Jo, who is now Jolfred because she's kind of Alfred to my Batman. Kindness and connectedness, yes, Anya, spot on. But yeah, and someone else has said, well said, kindness propagates. Yeah, it does. It's like a pebble thrown into a pond. It ripples throughout the entire pond. And at the end of the day, that accepting help bent that sort of thing a little bit, but no help, no support, none, it's all fine, so I'm still doing that. Sleeping rough, I do that and need to do that, but again, in receiving help, occasionally I get an offer of a room like this, so I accept it. And no vehicles was the other one. And I wanted to ask about that, like what you think, because the Jai and Jules, they offered me a bed, and it's in Woolgoolga, which is off the freeway. I'm walking down the freeway. And what Jai said was, look, mate, just get to this rest stop off the freeway. We'll pick you up. We'll drive you to our house, look after you, see you fed and washed, and you have a meal. And they were wonderful, by the way. And their dog, Bronte, was a joy. And then we'll drive you back to the rest stop. So you're continuing your walk from that exact same spot. And I'm like, oh, no, I can't do that. I have to walk there because, it's the rules that I made, I impose on myself. And I think I should stick to those rules, because when I get to Melbourne, I can say, yep, no, I didn't jump in a car at any damn point, and it's 100% authentic and true. I walked the whole bloody way, except for where I might take a ferry. When there's no bridge, I can take a ferry across a watercourse, that sort of thing. So, do you reckon Jai's right, and I should just jump in a car and get a lift to his house and then restart the walk from where he left off, or is that a slippery slope? I think it's a slippery slope, but I recognise that I might be a little bit mental. So does anyone have an opinion on that? What do you think? Is it okay to jump in a car and get driven to a place as long as I start from where I was picked up? Like tomorrow I'll be in Coffs Harbour. What if these guys want to drive to the pub? Do I get in the car and drive to the pub? Because I'm here living at this place and I'll continue from this place the following day? You know what I mean? So I've got these rules that I've made up, and for whatever reason they're pretty firm and rigid in my mind. And I think, like for that example, tomorrow if these guys want to go to the pub, I'd love to go to the pub with them, but I'll have to meet them there and I'll walk up the road, Personally, I don't think side trips in a car are against the rules, mate. Walking to Melbourne is enough, says Joe. Yeah, oh well, that's you, Joe. I know your view on it. Absolutely, take a ride to get to a place supported up to receive support from others. Okay, it's kind of them. You feel no, but it will feel great knowing you stuck to your principles. Yeah, so they're my self-imposed rules. That is really tricky, but you know what this challenge is. You know what in the end will make you feel like you achieve. Okay, this Sonia, I think this is good. So it's about how I feel like, did I do it? Did I achieve it? Did I relent? Was I weak? Did I make mistakes? That sort of thing. Yeah, so it's all about my internal dialogue. Okay. Yeah. Which means I can't just have a poll and take a vote and surrender it to someone else. I just think it's a slippery slope, and it's not so much like if I said, oh yeah, to go somewhere when I'm at a base, to leave my base to pick up food or whatever, I can ride a car. Create new rules. I think the no vehicles rules is just, it's clear, it's simple, and it might be best to keep it absolute. I'm already getting so much kindness and benefit from all these people saying, here, have a place to sleep. And David, who bought a bloody selfie stick for me. All I have to do is go collect it. I don't even have to scout anything out or wander around. I just have to head on down to JB Hi-Fi and pick the bad boy up tomorrow. So, if I have to walk around a little bit, well, I'm pretty bloody used to walking. Yeah, I don't know. I'll consider it. I'll think the issue through. But there are some people, like Joe, for instance, who have said quite firmly, you're bloody mental, mate. It's okay if you've settled in for the night and you need to go and buy some food or something, go. But yeah, I don't know. I think being on my footsies is what this is about. Standing up on my own 2 feet. I don't agree with that rule. How can people off the beaten path help? Well, I have to walk to them. It's not, you know, I have to figure it out and plan it, and that's the benefit. Like to meet Jai and Jules was a privilege and a joy, and it's worth the investment of a detour and a few extra hours walking and all the rest. So I don't know, that's the price. Here's another comment. Your rules, if you feel it's not right, you're the only one. That decision, going to the pub tomorrow should be okay in a car. It's a day off, not during the walk. Okay, maybe that. Tomorrow I'm based here and I'm continuing from here, and if they want to go to the pub, maybe that. Maybe if it's maybe that's okay. I don't know. Mary, you are a champion captain, inspiring so many people who are following your progress in your tremendous venture. Well, thank you, Mary. Yeah, you're a legend. There's a bunch of standout people who continually project kindness at me, and I want you to understand how grateful I am. I want to respect that, you know. There's a guy, Matt, who the other day I was laying down by the side of the road, and he pulled up and said, "Hey mate, are you okay?" You know, thought I might have had a collapse or something. And since then I've been more mindful. If I take a rest, I don't lay down. Despite my weary back, I sit up, I drink, I'm looking at the phone, I'm clearly all cool, so that I don't distress anybody who drives past, because I would hate to cause an accident or something. But you're also needing to allow your body to heal so it doesn't break down before you get to your destination. Yeah, I mean, look, I've come a fair way. We're not quite halfway to Sydney, but we're getting there. I mean, in my heart, and I could be wrong, and I could be naive, but maybe I've surprised some of you by getting this far. I don't know, but I think I could push. I think I could push through, and I think like I could do it without this kindness too. Like these hot noodles are going to be lovely when I get to gobble them down, but at the end of the day, I think I could adhere rigidly to those rules that I made myself, and I think I could do it. But yeah, I mean, the adventure's morphed, it's changed into something different, and this wave of kindness is just so wonderful, and I think it's good for all of us. Someone says to accept help if it's offered. You have already said that you can accept help, so if going in a car is part of the journey, then do it. I'll think about that. I think you've done incredible. Thank you, Captain. Have you been sent any photos from the young chap that gave you a beer and photographed you? Would love to see what he's done behind the lens. Yeah, I would too. What was his name? Scotty. He hasn't been in communication, and at the end of the day, I said, mate, this is your thing. It's your. He may not even. I think it's Darkroom developed, so he's an old school. Like it's a passion hobby for him, and he may not even have developed the images yet, and they're his. So I said to him, mate, by all means, I'm happy for you to take my picture, and it's your property going forward from now and all time. So he's under no obligation to, but I'm burningly curious as well. And I will. You've given me a nudge because I forgot to follow it up. I'll send him a little message and see if he's developed them and if he's willing to share them, because I don't know. Well, I'm just burningly curious what it looks like. I was wearing my high-vis uniform, the blue one with the blowy stripes and stuff. I get used now during the day just walking around with that gear on. It feels normal to me. So when I'm walking down the side of the road, I'm not Simon. I'm Captain Australia in my own weird universe, you know. And I'm wearing the gear, and the gear is just part of me, and I've forgotten all about it. And that sort of that oddness of it is just no. That's it. I'm Captain Australia. Let's walk. Looking fit, mate. Yeah, I couldn't show you. I have lost a lot of the surplus weight, and I reckon in the next couple of weeks, as I approach Sydney, I'm going to have to then start to be a bit careful about calorie intake. So now I'm just doing, I'm trying to eat right and get what food I can, and with the help of the lovely people hosting me, I've had like some lovely steak and some spaghetti and vegetables and all kinds of stuff, and it's wonderful food. But yeah, in a couple of weeks I'll need to actually supplement, like I'll need to have a particular plan to keep my calories up to a certain level so I don't break my body down and undo or undermine a lot of the physical toil of it. In concept is really about me repairing and rebuilding some of the fundamentals of how my body works. So my thyroid was broken by the radiation. That regulates your metabolism. But I think my metabolism is becoming more efficient from all of the things that I'm asking of my body, which is great. So I'm going to, sussle that out when I get home anyway. Sonia says, what kind of supplies, apart from the lollies, are the best for us to be able to support you? Oh, smiles. Love a smile, depending on how your comfort level with COVID, I'm fully jabbed. The handshake is wonderful. Look, the supplies, I'm usually, honestly, when people hand me something, the first thing I think of is, oh, fuck, sorry, I didn't mean to swear there. How much does this weigh? So someone will give me a bottle of water and you'll see in their eyes this kindness, and when they give it to you, that what they want to hear is, oh, thank you so much. And I take it and it's, thank you so much. And I am delighted by the kindness. And with water it's fine because I immediately chug it all and I'm down, because, you can't be too hydrated when you're walking all day. But every time somebody hands me something, I'm like, oh, how much is this going to weigh? So I've still got an emergency rations thing from SES John at Ulmara. It's a spaghetti bolognese meal. Weighs about 800 grams or something. It's quite heavy in its little sachet. So I've got to eat that at some point, so I don't have to carry it anymore, That's twice today I let it slip. Yeah, I'm sorry. I actually want to be really mindful of not using my full range of expression and my full vocabulary as possible. Kids watching, or it's possible somebody just doesn't like the swearing. And that's so cool. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. Sometimes it just slips out. So anyway, so the person who hinted a battle rap later, I'm gonna remember, mate. You come for me when you're ready. You come hard. Oh, what did I just say? I meant, come at me, bro. Like, let's go. Like, oh, what is wrong with me? Don't rewind that bit and don't rewatch it. Don't overthink it. Let's just move on. Jesus Christ, Simon. Tim says, have you had anyone pull over to try and offer you a lift? How do you go explaining that you need to walk? Well, mate, it's a good question, and yes, I have. Like, I was walking through cyclonic rain. I wasn't yet to McLean, I think. So I was out of Ballina, walking on these back roads, and a couple pulls up, and they were like, oh, mate, jump in, we'll get you somewhere out of this. And it was driving rain, like filthy thick, as intense as you can imagine it. And I'm just walking through the rain like a normal person. And they pull over and they're like, come on, mate, get in. And I'm like, oh no, I'm fine, thank you so much. I appreciate your kindness. Be careful pulling over, because, get your hazards on, or move on. But seriously, I'm good. I'm walking because I want to, and I'm safe, and I'm fine. Everything's okay. And that's all you can do. You just do your best to kind of say so. There will definitely be kids watching. They'll be cheering you on. Okay, now kids are not immune to profanity and all the rest. I will be mindful and try to limit any expletives. So yeah, but yeah, it's a good question, and people do sometimes pull up and offer a ride. They would have been so confused. Yeah. Well, the thing is, when I walk down the road, I typically, at an absolute minimum, I have this bag here on hand. Let's grab this bag here from the carabiner thing. It's holding it. So, okay. So it's been a long day. So, at a minimum, I have this thing on, and usually when I'm wearing this, I've got the mask, like the Batman cowl kind of thing underneath it. So I've tied a knot in this, haven't because I didn't want it to fly away. But yeah, anyway, so it's like that. So anybody who sees me is going to have a bit of a clue that there's, oh, don't look at my nether regions and stuff. They're going to have a bit of a clue that there's something going on here other than just a dude walking down the road. So often I'll have the full mask on. There's the abdominal stripes, and it's pretty noticeably, you know, it's not a military uniform. It's not normal clothing. What does this guy think he's doing? Volume is not the best, says Lynette. Sorry, I don't know if that improves it at all. To me, that's a beep, 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 volume up. Let's try. This should have turned the mic from ambient mode into purely voice mode. So you should be hearing my voice better and less ambient sound, assuming it's still working. Do I like snacks like jerky? Anything that's given in kindness, I consume, even if I don't like it. But sure, things like jerky, like less candy snakes, I don't really like them. And since chemotherapy, it's hard for me to, I have to constantly drink water to lubricate my throat to be able to swallow food, and especially like sticky foods, gummy foods and bread and stuff like that, they're a little bit iffy to eat for me. But as long as I've got water, I'm good. But I love the kindness, I receive it with kindness, and its calories and its energy. Thank you so much, gobble them down. Danny says, just when you're leaning back, the sound lessens. Okay, sorry, I'll be mindful. I don't have, like Facebook, when you're doing a stream, it doesn't have a little, you know, sound wavy thing. You just have no sort of info to tell you whether you guys can even hear me at all, except for your feedback. But yeah, okay, so tomorrow, I'm going to be laying over and healing in Coffs Harbour. I already feel my chafing and blisters getting better. I'm not at a Deadpool healing factor level, but I actually think my body is becoming more efficient and more effective in how I take energy in, use it, and process it and excrete it and all of that. And also, yeah, the healing of injuries and stuff. So, yeah, look, it's only been 15 days. I've covered, I think as the crow flies, it's like 480 kilometers back to Brisbane or something like that from where I am now. But I've come through a lot of long and windy, like you go down the coast and then you have to come inland and then loop down. So there's a lot of little Z's and C's and little arcs and shapes, so it's not a direct route. I reckon I might have come as far as maybe 530 kilometers, possibly. I'll recreate the trip when I get home. It's really just, it's a curiosity more than anything else. But yeah, I think that I've found my stride, and now it's really just, I'm in the adventure of it. Post-cancer big walk reset, perhaps. Yeah, well, that's what this is for me. It's a total, yeah, I don't know if reset's the right word, but it's like tearing everything down and rebuilding it, I think. The volume is terrible, says Lynette. Is that the same for everybody? Let's see if I can do anything on the phone. Where are you staying tonight? Oops, just messing with the phone. I'm staying in a place called the Chelsea Motor Inn in Coffs Harbour. So they offered me a night's accommodation, and I came here and gratefully received it. And then they said, would you like to stay for a couple of nights? So I gratefully received that, and I've been able to now just say that tomorrow I'm resting, healing, you know, eating. There's a Chinese place right next door, you know, so there's plenty of amenities. I'll get my selfie stick, I'll get the missing underpants that I need, and some socks. So somebody had said synthetic socks will be better for blisters and for the wet, so polyester and all the rest. I think I've got a mixture, but I've got some cotton socks, so I can dispose of them and get the less blistery kind. Any idea of the total funds raised for kids' cancer so far? I think it's something like 45 grand at the moment. So it's very sort of dribbly in these days in the middle of the walk. What it needs to stimulate it is awareness. So that primarily has come from media pulses. So when there's a Today Show or something else where I'm able to sort of talk to the world, people jump on, they see it and donate. $45,090 so far, says Margaret. Thank you for checking, Margaret. Yeah, so that's wonderful. I'd love to raise a bunch more money. Your phone may need to dry out. Okay. But yeah, I'd love to raise a bunch more money. At the end of the day, it's one of those problems that, we have to keep spending until it's solved. It's about research hours. It's about, committing to allowing those scientists to do their jobs. And at the end of the day, I'm just dressed up like a bullfed. If there's heroes in the struggle, I suppose it's those scientists, because they're in a stand-up fight for children's lives. And the idea of that 950 kids every year, if the efficacy of a particular treatment for a particular cancer that attacks children, like neuroblastoma, for instance, can be improved by 3%, that might mean 950 becomes 949. And that's not just one child whose lives that we have saved next year, but it's every subsequent year. You know what I mean? So it's future unborn children, and they are saved. Just that one, by that tiny incremental improvement. And the softening of the treatments means less profound long-term medical problems as well. Step 1, undies are great, so I've told. Step 1, undies are great, so I've told. Okay, yeah, I think, is that a brand? Step 1, okay. I will go undie shopping and sock shopping and thong shopping tomorrow, and I will pick up the selfie stick that David Duff, Diggity David Diggity Duff, kindly arranged for me. I'll pick that bad boy up, and other than that, I'm gonna do just a little bit of wandering of Coffs Harbour, probably in just daggy old man clothes, not dressed up as Captain Australia at all. I'm gonna spend a lot of time just laying around in bed and letting my feet heal. Sonia Jackson says that's where we'll also share the awareness. Does Love Your Sister know about the big walk? I don't know about Love Your Sister. I mean, I get the idea that every woman is somebody's mother, daughter, or sister, and I guess it's got something to sort of do with that. It's about women's rights or domestic violence or something. I don't know, but I'm sorry, I hadn't heard of that organisation at all, Sonia. Particular brand that holds all the bits better. Where in Melbourne is the finish line? So Federation Square. When I get to Federation Square, I will fall to the ground. I will kiss the ground like the Pope getting off a plane. But that's the end point. So the only complicating thing is, it's only just today, I think, that they're allowing foot traffic now to cross the border between New South Wales and Victoria. Unless I've been misinformed, I've been waiting eagerly to know for sure. But things had been volatile. I understood the borders were closed, and now they're reopened, so I'm all good and I have a clear run. Federation Square is the end point. I have contacted Love Your Sister but not heard back yet from them. Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't know about the organisation. Tim Patterson asks, walking back. Tim Patterson, hell no. Look, here's the thing. I get to Melbourne, if there's some, Elon Musk jumps on and he's like, okay, Simon, we will give you $1 billion for the charity, $100,000 for you to solve your mortgage, and you must circumnavigate Australia. That doesn't sound like Elon Musk at all, does it? But he's a weird sounding dude, though. And I'd do it. I'd be on the hook to do it, because it's too much benefit to the charity, no matter the cost to me. So I'd be on the hook to do that. But aside from that, with this sort of self-imposed, self-created adventure that I'm on, once I get to Federation Square, I'm going home and I'm hugging my kids. And I'm never letting go, mate. No, not in this lifetime. No way. So, and that's my assertion, and sometimes we don't live up to the things that we assert. So, yeah, Elon Musk, if he wants to troll me, then, it might be a while before I get to see them again. Though the 100,000, we could just fly them out and hang out in the major cities. I guess I'm rambling like an old man. Stop it, Simon. Stop. Good. I stopped. So, Sonia says, good job to Chrissy. So, I don't know. I'll look at Love Your Sister. I don't know anything about it. I hugged them all. Oh, thanks, Chrissy. They're good kids. They've got good hearts. And I do think they, I think they're fine with being absent, honestly. In a way, it's a bit like a preview of death. Like, what if cancer had taken me? What would that absence be like? Would the kids move on? Would Jenny be okay? And yeah, they're all right. You know, in this case, they've got the benefit of my ghost ringing every couple of days. So, you know, there's not so much psychological trauma from it. But in a practical sense, Jenny immediately starts repainting the house, and the kids are all just playing their games and having their giggles. Samuel Johnson also rode a unicycle to raise money against cancer because his sister Connie became ill. She sadly passed. So love your sister is right. Okay. I didn't know about that. Rode a unicycle. Jesus. I mean, sorry, walking's hard enough for me, but that stuff, it's all back and forth, you keep my balance. It feels like a lot of work. Wow. Anyway, love your sister. Okay. Look, these sort of other charities that all have their own objectives and whatnot, it would be great to, I guess, as a species, all just unify and solve the problems one at a time on a priority list. You know, so instead of all these little pieces of effort here and there, we say, well, first up, let's solve racism. Let's focus on that and that alone as a human problem. Bang! 5 days later, we've done it. Solved. So now what's the next thing? Pediatric cancer's pretty shit. Let's solve that. I didn't mean to swear then, I'm sorry. So, you know, one at a time, we just tick them all off. And we just globally cooperate in that regard. Sonia says, he would want the world to know about your walk, truly. So this love your sister thing must have been pretty big. Hey, look, that's wonderful. Thank you. Any channel for additional exposure is really going to help the charity. Run for PM, mate. I'm sorry, I'm not adept enough at lying. I can do it. For instance, you know, I'm really sexy. Look at me. That's dead sexy. So I can do it firm, straight down the barrel. I can lie, but I'm not good at it. I'm not comfortable with it. And it's just not who I want to be. I want it to improve. So I think a prerequisite for Prime Minister is an ability to be tactical with your facts. My mum came back the other day when my alarm came on with Simple Minds. So, oh, yeah, don't you forget about me. Yeah, that's a lovely song. And it's huge, says Sonia. Okay. Big in Victoria. Yeah, I mean, look, it's great that charity has such an enduring legacy for it. Look, maybe my big walk will become a thing. I don't know. I'd love, people keep sort of threatening to join me. There's one guy in Sydney who wants to meet up and go for at least a full day together. That'll be great. Love to do it. And we can kind of bounce off each other, and it's less an old man rambling at you, more of a, you know, story and a conversation. Daniel says, keep up your good work, Captain. Watching you all the way from Cairns. Cheers, mate. Thank you, Daniel. I appreciate your kindness, buddy. So, yeah, tomorrow, aside from my shopping, I may go beer drinking. And depending on whether the boys are shy or not, I might get some photos of, you know, just bouncing around with the people of Coffs Harbour. I will reflect on whether I feel that it's ethically okay to ride in a car to the pub. Certainly wouldn't be if the person driving has had a few drinks. But, you know, just with regard to my self-imposed big walk rules. Joel Rice is watching. G'day, Joel. How you doing? Yeah, so does anybody have anything that they'd like to talk about? You know, any topics that we should dive into? Weird stuff I've seen on the walk. What's some weird stuff that I've seen? I've seen an eerie number of dead birds on the roadside, to be honest, and the beach. Like the kind of thing that it just feels like an anomaly. Like, does this signify some kind of ecological pattern that's changed? You know, like, is it a you know, some sort of an ecological disaster? Because like the dead birds, and they haven't been savaged by another animal or something. Sometimes they're just whole, laying there dead. You know what I mean? Too many, and more than. So when I've gone walking anywhere in the past, you might occasionally see a dead bird, and there might often be signs of misadventure, but I'll see just an alarming number every day. I uploaded a picture before of a snake that I saw today. It was dead, but it had like white, black, like licorice stripes on it, and I had never seen a snake like that before. I don't know what type it is. So I meant to ask somebody if they had any idea. 100% okay to drive to the pub, says Danny. Well, I guess if everybody's cool. I have seen some roos jumping around in the distance. My favourite animal moment though was a horse encounter that I had out back of McLean. You know, just this lovely mare cantered over to me, and we just had a moment. You know, I love animals in general. I think, you know, but you know, I didn't have anything for her, and she knew that. She just wanted to say hello and have a little bit of a hug. It was nice. I've seen only a few live roos, and I've probably seen more dead than alive, dead on the road actually, which is sort of sad. You know, what else? Yeah, she loved you. Oh, so that's relating to Chrissy's comment probably. Sonia, get pushed in a trolley to the pub, not a car, but not walking either. Here's the thing. No matter how I got to the pub, if I don't have to carry that big bloody pack around, I'm like, okay, so the reason Superman is powerful on Earth is because he's on a planet where relentlessly dense gravity is pushing them down. So when he comes to Earth, it's like, boing, I can leap over a building and all the rest. And you know, I'm like that. Take the pack off me, and I could run to the pub. It's all good. So yeah, I'll think about it. Thank you for everybody's comments on the vehicle rules. I think I'm kind of still maybe firm on it. Just no vehicles. It's just easy. But you know, I don't want to annoy people either. So if these guys want to have a beer, so I'll think about it, and I'll decide situationally. Lorenzo says, you are doing great, mate. Cheers, mate. Thank you. Nick Kyrgios Tennis, please give this man Australia a shout out at your next tennis game. He is walking. Okay. Did you tag? Can a person see that kind of thing? Can they? Yeah, tag. If you know how to do it and you're good at it, tag the crap out of Captain Australia's big walk all over Twitter and every old damn thing, please. If you can, you don't have to. It's all right, but. I feel that in terms of the charity side of things, I've been successful in getting some media exposure, and that's great in garnering donations. But I feel that if I was smarter and better and more effective, I could do a better job at it. And I guess I pathetically beg you, please, if there's anything that you can do to promote the big walk, anything at all, please. Chrissy says, getting pushed in trolley pub is now my official dare to you. Oh, come on, that's not a legitimate dare, because there's no David on a dare of doom or whatever. I still owe a few of those actually. I have to do a stock take on the incomplete daily donor dares of doom. I have one where I have to wear a flamingo, so when I'm shopping around tomorrow, I'll have to keep my eyes open for a flamingo, you know. I still have to go, if I go to the pub with these boys tomorrow, I can do a day. There's a dare that I need to do. I have to go into a pub and just say, I'll have a beer, thanks. Publican brings over the beer, and I say, I won't be paying for it. I'm a superhero. Just flat like that, and see how it goes. And that's the dare. And a jolly publican would probably go, right, mate, enjoy your beer. A grumpy one might say, what the, you know, pay for your damn beer. And then we see how it goes. But yeah, I'll have to do a stock take on those things. Take a hat to collect the money. You do what's right for you, Captain. We all love you. Oh, jeez. That's lovely of you. Getting pushed in a trolley to the pub. There's room for some pretty out there dares, to be honest. And I'm on the hook. I've done a pretty mediocre job of fulfilling them. I've done my best with a couple. But yeah, I need to do a stock take and just knock them all off the list, so that if any fresh ones come in, I can just jump straight on it. But a flamingo? What? A flamingo? What? Why? Where? Aren't I weird enough with Captain Australia gear on? Kyle says, 3 men walked into a bar. You would have thought the third man would have ducked. Don't be the third man. Okay, yeah. All right. Margaret says, swim ring for the... with a flamingo. Oh, okay, right. You're one of those, like a kid. Yeah, okay. Hey, they may have. I might have to get like a, lawn ornament or something from the rejects shop and strap it to my pack or whatever. Wear that for a day, carry it around. I don't know. You just have to figure these things out. I got one dare and it was just run, fatty, run. 3 words. Run, fatty, run. This was before the big walk actually started. but I was doing like practice, preparation, and promotion. And I got run, fatty, run. So, you know, with that, okay, maybe he's just saying, you can, sure, Captain Australia, you can walk, but you can't run. So I did with all the gear and the pack on and everything. I did a bit of a run and live streamed it. But some of these dares, they don't come with a, you know, a troubleshooting instruction booklet, so I just have to kind of figure it out. I fell on my magnificent bum doing one of them. It was like walk backwards for an hour. And I did it down the beach in the rain, and I tripped over a log and sort of not quite twisted my ankle. It was more funny and embarrassing. But I only did like 38 minutes of that, but I feel because I injured myself a little bit, I'm off the hook. Yeah, Daytona Dares of Doom. I don't know. I thought of that. Why did I think of that for? What's wrong with me? I don't know. Anyone want to make some money? Give me a bit of free therapy. So, old man ramble. Stop rambling, Simon. Thank you for reminding me. What else shall we discuss, people? Or shall we leave it there? I'm going to eat my noodles, I think, with a spoon. Chrissy says, I'm a lawyer. Trust me, trolleys are fun. Here's the thing, Chrissy. Okay, you're a lawyer, right? Fine. And I understand why a lawyer would say, I'm a lawyer. Trust me. I get that. What I don't understand is why any thinking human would trust a lawyer. You follow me? And sorry, no offense. I guess I just insulted you and your entire profession. I'm sorry. But lawyer, it comes from the word, like it comes from the Latin liar, doesn't it? Kelso Lou, you look like you need a cup of tea. Yeah, it's a long day. I didn't really cover much distance today, too, Kelso. It was like at most 25k, but it was a hard 25k. So I think I haven't been as strategic and clever as I could, but I'm learning. So I think for what I have, it's good to do like a 2-hour burst and a solid rest, like a 30, 45 or even an hour rest, and then another 2-hour burst. At 6 in the morning, that gets me through to like 11, and I can have covered 15k in the morning. You know, if I even only walking 3.5k an hour, you know, at a slow pace, but then with that discipline, I cover 15k in the morning and 15k in the evening. And if my pace, I think, when it's robust, I am sort of getting back up towards the 5k an hour. So, yeah. Anyway, the next country coming up is not about any of that. Anyway, I spoke to Jai and Jules. They described a path that I can take that bypasses Kempsey and takes me through Gladstone and then down to the beach. There's a bunch of little beaches that I can follow pretty much all the way down to Port Macquarie. There's an issue where I get to a point called Nambucca Head where there's no way across, there's no bridge or anything. So I may have to have a little bit of an adventure and find a fisherman, someone with a boat who can take me across. Either that or I'll have to divert inland. So, but for that challenge though, there'll be just some lovely country, really remote. Some of it's where the old Pacific Highway was, and some of it's where back, like, scenic route type roads are. So it's going to be some beautiful country. I hope that there's going to be decent reception so I can share it, but I've learned from that too. If there's bad reception, stupid man, don't try and stream. Take a video, save it, upload it when you've got some Wi-Fi or a bit of better reception. Lynette says, sit back and watch a bit of television. Have a quiet night, relax and enjoy. Say good night. You know, Lynette, you're a bit bossy, mate. And I like it. Yeah, you're right, and I'll sign off very soon. That's a cool idea, catching on a boat, yeah. So it all depends on, you know, what the weather's like, are there people there and all of that stuff. And Chrissy, I'm sorry if I offended you about that lawyer stuff. I was just joking. Oath Parts. That's a very unique name. Oath Parts is watching. Hello, Oath Parts. But yeah, I think I will sign off there and say goodnight. So tomorrow I will share some of the day with you, but I'm having a day of healing, day of rest. My legs already feel better. I don't get offended. Good on you. Yeah, I didn't think you were that type, to be honest, but I can be offensive just because I'm a bumbling old fool sometimes. But yeah, I guess I do try, and I want to actually always just try and tell the truth, you know. And I like to think that if we do that, when we offend each other, we have a chance to then just apologize and navigate to some sort of consensus. You said the wrong thing, you did the wrong thing, I did the wrong thing. We're going to learn from that, and we're going to agree and move forward. Both parts. I'm young bloke what came out to see Quentin. I'm young bloke what came out to see Quentin. Oh, okay, right, sorry, Quentin, yeah. Oh, sorry, for Quentin and Taki. Yeah, buddy. Oh, so you're the guy who came in and so is Quentin your dad, is he? Yeah, nice. Yeah, I got to Coffs okay, buddy. Hey, thanks for checking in. It was nice to meet you the other night. I'm sorry I was a bit weird sitting there in my jockey shorts and superhero top, gobbling down food with your dad and Taki. But they were lovely, mate. What lovely people, and what a lovely little farmhouse that was. I'm so grateful and delighted that they let me stay there that night. So yeah, thanks for checking in, mate. Vicky Taylor says hi from Dubbo. Dubbo, eh? Yeah, cheers, Vicky. Welcome. I was actually just about to sign off and go and gobble down some suimin, prawn and chicken noodles, and maybe watch a little bit of telly before sleeping. Yeah, so thank you everybody for your interest. I'm delighted and humbled, and if there's anything that I can do to repay your kindness, drop me a message. If there's anything that I'm doing wrong that you'd like to teach me about, drop me a message. If there's anything that I'm doing right that you'd like to celebrate, drop me a message. I will always do my best to try and answer and respect your comments and your thoughts. Oath says, sorry, we'll get them onto your page tomorrow so they can keep in touch. I'd love to. Yeah, they were such just salt of the earth people, mate. You know, if they wanna keep in touch, I'd be delighted by that, Oath. So yeah, sorry, that's for people who don't know. A few nights ago, Quentin and Taki, I was just walking down the road and Quentin got off his tractor, waved to me and said, hey mate, you want a cup of tea? And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, thank you. And we had a cup of tea together, and he just said, you looked like you needed a cup of tea. And they invited me, they had total hospitality and kindness, and they invited me immediately to stay at their farm, which was lovely. Yes, I am a bit, but you need to unwind. I will. Take it easy, Captain. Catch you in the morning. Good night. Sleep well. Thank you. Where is everyone from? I'm from Geelong. Margaret, there's a post in the community tab on the Facebook page where someone asked that question, where's everybody from? If you guys would like to have a conversation between yourselves, I commented, I'm from Brisbane, Western Suburbs, a suburb called Kenmore. But yeah, there was a guy from Oklahoma on the other day, and you know, so if you wanted to share that sort of stuff, there's in the community tab, there's a question. So I'm going to stop my long old man ramble, sit down, watch some telly and gobble some noodles. Thank you so much for your interest. It's Captain Australia's Big Walk. What's it for? Personal healing. It's for you, and it's for the Kids Cancer Project. And my name's Simon, and I also dress up like that. This dude. So this is Captain Australia signing off. Cheers. Thanks and good night. Enjoy those noodles. Cheers, Margaret. All the best, everybody. Sleep well.